Greetings everyone. Well, welcome to another Game of Thrones episode review, and today we're going to be continuing our look at Season 1 with The Wolf and the Lion. So, here we go. So, starting off in the Vale, Lady Catelyn Stark leads her entourage east through the mountains of the moon to get to the Vale, with Tyrion Lannister as her prisoner. However, they are soon attacked by barbarian tribesmen. During the fight, Tyrion saves Catelyn's life, attacking and killing a barbarian with a shield. The party arrives at the Eyrie, ruled by Lord Jon Arryn's widow, Lysa, who is also Catelyn's sister. However, when the two meet for the first time in 5 years, it becomes apparent that Lysa is mentally unstable and fears the Lannisters' power. Catelyn also meets her nephew, Robin Arryn, the heir to the Eyrie, an 8-year-old boy whom Lysa still breastfeeds. Ugh. Tyrion is consigned to the Eyrie's version of a dungeon, the Sky Cells, prison cells with an open wall and slanted floors that slope down to a precipice. Yeah, I would not want to be in one of those, considering my deathly fear of heights. Meanwhile, Lysa prepares to pass judgment on Tyrion as an accomplice to her husband's murder. Meanwhile, in the north, at Winterfell, Theon Greyjoy grows jealous of Tyrion after his favorite prostitute Ross taunts him with the judgment that Tyrion is a better lover and from a richer family. Rude. Meanwhile, Bran is depressed over his paralysis and the fact that his mother left him while he was in a coma. To cheer him up, Maester Luwin decides to teach Bran the Dothraki art of horseback archery. Oh, that's pretty cool. And finally, in King's Landing, after Eddard Stark convinces King Robert not to join the tourney, the crowd watches a jousting match between the fearsome Sir Gregor the Mountain Clegane, brother of the Hound, and Sir Loras Tyrell, the Knight of Flowers. The Mountain is a formidable opponent, but Loras cleverly defeats him in the joust by riding a mare in heat, distracting Clegane's stallion. Ah, nice plan. Furious, Clegane beheads his horse and attempts to kill Sir Loras. Senator of the Hound Clegane comes to Tyrell's rescue and defends him against his brother until Robert orders him to stop. Grateful for being rescued, Loras calls Sandor a hero when he is cheered by the crowd. Aww. Later, Varys reveals to Ned that Jon Arryn was killed for asking questions, succumbing to a poison called the Tears of Lys. He also suggests that Lord Arryn's former squire, the recently slain Sir Hugh of the Vale, was the poisoner. Yeah, I doubt that. Meanwhile, Arya, as part of her training, chases a cat through the Red Keep and stumbles upon a secret conversation between two men, Varys and Illyrio, who appear to be plotting against the throne. Dun dun dun! Arya tries to warn her father, but is unable to identify the two plotters and fumbles her words. They are interrupted by the arrival of Yoren, who informs Ned of his wife's arrest of Tyrion. The news of Daenerys' pregnancy reaches the small council, delivered by one of Varys' spies. Fearing possible invasion by the Targaryen/Dothraki alliance, Robert orders that she and her unborn child, along with Viserys, be assassinated. Rude! Ned refuses to obey such a dishonorable order since Robert's hatred for Targaryens is clouding his judgment, and ordering such an assassination will make him no better than the Mad King. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on there, Ned. When Robert's mind is clearly made, Ned resigns the office of Hand of the King, much to Robert's anger. As Robert drinks in sorrow over his fight with Ned, Cersei visits Robert and explains why he takes the Dothraki threat seriously. Meanwhile, Robert's youngest brother Renly is with his lover Sir Loras. Oh my! Loras convinces Renly that he should be king because Loras believes that Renly will be a better ruler than either his brothers or his nephews. Yeah, I definitely believe him. Before he can leave the capital, Littlefinger offers to take Ned to the last person Jon Arryn spoke to before his death. It turns out to be a prostitute, Megan, the mother of a baby daughter, who was another of Robert's illegitimate children. Littlefinger reveals Jon Arryn had been searching for Robert's bastards for an unknown reason. When Ned and his guards try to leave, they are ambushed by Jaime Lannister and his men, who want answers for Tyrion's arrest. Ned claims responsibility for Tyrion's arrest, which leads to a brutal fight between his and Jaime's men. In the end, Ned's guards are killed, including his Captain Joy Castle, whom Jaime stabs through the eyes with a dagger. Ugh. Ned duels with Jaime, but is speared through the leg by one of Jaime's guards before Stark and Lannister can finish the fight on their own. Rude. Jaime knocks out the guard who interrupted the fight, and decides to let Ned live, but warns that he wants his brother back. Jaime storms away, leaving Ned bleeding in the dirt, where he quickly faints. And no one decided to help him? Gosh, that's so rude. Oosh. Anyway, let's have some production notes here. The Wolf and the Lion was written by the show's creators and executive producers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, based on the book by George R.R. Martin. The episode includes chapters 31 and 36 of the book, Ed Art 7, Tyrion 4, Arya 3, Ed Art 8, Catelyn 6, and Ed Art 9. Oof. The adaptation to the screen has continued with a trend of including new scenes to flesh out characters that in the book are only superficially seen through the point of view characters. These include the dialectical confrontation between Littlefinger and Varys, and the conversation between King Robert and Queen Cersei, and the young lovers Renly and Loras. The show's writers used this opportunity to make explicit Loras and Renly's ongoing assassinations, which were only hinted at in the books. Finn Jones makes his first appearance as Dolores Tyrell, the young jester known as the Knight of Flowers. The casting was one of the first to be announced, being confirmed by author George R. R. Martin in June 2010 after it had been leaked before the contract was to be signed. The actor had initially been considered for the role of Jon Snow when the pilot was being filmed. Huh, that's interesting. The new location of the court is also introduced. Scottish actress Kate Dickie was cast as the Lady of the Eyrie, Lysa Arryn, also making her first appearance in this episode. Although Dickie does not resemble the physical description of Lysa given in the books, Martin stated that her acting in the auditions was excellent. The role of her son, renamed Robin in the series to avoid confusion with King Robert, when Celino Faccioli, the Knight of the Vale, Sir Roderick Egan, was played by Brendan McCormick. Lingerie model Emily Diamond has her role as a prostitute who teases Joy Castle during the visit to the brothel. Diamond was initially hired as a body double to one of the main stars, but the producers liked her so much they decided to give her a role. Nice. Also appearing in this episode is the casting team's Robert Stern, who reprises his role as the page in King's Landing. The interiors for the episode were filmed at the Paint Hall studio. The conclusion of the turning of the hand that had begun in the previous episode but continued to be filmed in Shane's castle. Production moved to Malta to film many of King's Landing exteriors. The dungeons of the Red Keep, where Arya's lost while chasing cats, were the dungeons of Fort St. Angelo and the Maltese town of Vittoriosa. Nice. The CGI compositions of the Vale of Arryn, as seen in the establishing shot of the area from the sky cells, the visual effects team used images and textures from the Greek rock formations of Meteora. Initially, they had been considering the Sangigia, I'm sorry if I messed that up, mountains in China, but because the landscape-based plays were being shot in Ireland, using Meteora was a better option. Cool. In keeping with the transition of the series from exposition to action, each episode shows more fight scenes, and The Wolf and the Lion has a large number that had to be choreographed. Fight coordinator Buster Reeves designed all the moves and then taught the cast how to make them, and gave a sense of real aggression. Reeves commented on the ambush by the Hillmen as one of the most difficult, as he had to show many people fighting on screen at the same time, making everyone look original and exciting, and also noting how intimidating it could be for the actors to have 20 stuntmen running through their midst with axes and swords. Yep. The episode is dedicated to the memory of Caroline Lois Benoist, a 26-year-old animal trainer who had been working on the production for 6 months, mainly treating the dogs that doubled as the series' direwolves. She fell ill at her home on December 18, 2010, a few days after filming had finished, and died on December 29th from swine flu. Oh, that sucks. So overall, this is a pretty entertaining episode, and hey, the fight between Jaime and Ned is actually pretty darn good, although it was kind of short because it got interrupted. Grr. So overall, I give The Wolf and the Lion 4 Iron Thrones out of 5. Well, join me next week as we take a look at a golden crown. I wonder who the crown could be for. Well, anyway, so until next week, in the words of House Stark, winter is coming.